Hello, and welcome back to Dark Souls. Alright, so I've kind of thought about it, and I realized in order to get certain quest lines done the right way, I'm going to have to do Duke's Archives first, which is not going to be very fun for me. Oh, I've been dreading going back through this area. Hello, Teague. Thank you for wishing me luck. Alright. Also, I will go ahead and say, this is what I'm wearing. I've gone ahead and just got both my defense rings for both magic and physical attacks. Oh, what? What was that? Why did that bounce off of him? Well, okay, I guess. Alright, then. Come along, friend. Ah. Wow. That stone plate ring, that steel, what is it? Ring of steel protection? It's so weird, like all the other defense rings are stone plate, but this one is ring of steel protection. Like, what's up with that? Oh well, I don't know. Hello. Yes. Uh-oh, there's multiples of them. Oh, that didn't work out quite as intended. Well, alright then. That worked out. Let's see, do I even have to fight this crystal golem? Not really. Oh, hello. Oh, dear. Also, yes, I suppose at some point I should mention that I do have the dragon head currently equipped. I'm probably not going to bother with it after I die, so, But I suppose I could try to show it off in action. It stands to reason the mage might have high magic protection, or magic resistance, I should say. Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's just see how the Baldur's Sword does for me for now. That worked out, but that very well could not have worked out very easily. Wow, good dodge, me. Thanks, me. You're welcome, me. Come here, you. Ow. Fuck. Ow. Oh, God. I'm being, like, really reckless right now. Hello? What the fuck? I don't think I've ever seen them do that before. Okay, that's nice to have. Let's get that off of there. What the fuck? What? I've literally never seen this before. I've never, ever seen them do this. This is unheard of for me. This is so weird. I've just never seen them do this before. This is like proper AI. Normally they just stay where they're posted. Oh my god, that chair saved my life. That's kind of incredible. This whole encounter is kind of incredible. I've just never seen them do that before. That is so weird. It's, oh my. Okay, well, So, I mean, this is the Duke's Archives. As you can see, it's a bunch of fucking books. Books, as far as the eye can see. But the texture, like, it's... I mean, as you can tell, it's just like... It's a very blank model with some texturing on it. Only in later games do they get good enough to, like, actually spend the time to model individual books of all things. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Can I roll through chairs? No, okay. Well, this is a bit unique in that this is not furniture that I can just roll through. These weird, like, globy things. Which, I don't quite understand how this world has this concept of, like, a globe. Because Lord Ran is kind of like this Asgardian world that lives, like, on the clouds or some shit. It's weird. It's a weird concept to me. Alright, let's see here. Let's handle the other side first real quick. Yeah, normally there's an archer up there, there's an archer up there, and there's an archer sitting up here. And they all, like, kind of peg you with arrows one at a time as you come up the stairs. But they all decided to come down towards me, and I've just never seen that before. It's so interesting. Oh dear. This one is not a mimic. Twinkling Titanite. Oh, good, I need that. Oh, shoot, I realized. I meant to go farm the clams for Twinkling Titanite in between now and then. Oh, well. I guess I don't really need it. But I am going to need to upgrade that spear eventually. The Silver Knight Spear. Because I need it for one particular zone for reasons I'll get into when I get there. Alright. And yeah. So here's a classic Dark Souls 1 like setup. Like there's something down there that I need to worry about. And it draws your attention away from this to the left. So, I mean, you know. And, you know, here it is again. Something to the left there. Oh, jeez. Ow, fuck. Man, these things take a lot of abuse. Huh. Shit. It seems like piercing damage seems to hurt them a little better than the slashing damage of my cuts. Of course, here we have two enemies coming at me at once. Oh dear. Oh no. I say right before one of them gives up, and then it makes my job a lot easier. I wonder how fire affects you. Oh. Alright then. Crystal Straight Sword. Let's see here. Fully crystallized straight sword. How such a weapon was created is entirely unknown. The crystallization boosts its attack, but makes the blade brittle. The sword cannot be used for long, as it cannot be repaired. So that is something I will give Dark Souls a little bit of credit for, is that that's actually fairly realistic. Obviously, it's not realistic that if you had a sword made of crystal that it would do shit. Well, that didn't work out. So as you can tell by the how I'm using it, the Dragon's Breath seems to very much be a sort of, you know, just go ahead and go Nova. But it drains a lot of stamina. And I mean a lot of stamina. Fuck. Fuck. Need a little bit more room to work with. But it does a pretty okay amount of damage if you can connect it in, like, the full spray. There we go. Of course, that is kind of the awkward thing about having the dragon head is glug glug. Let me just pour my health potion on my neck. But yes, a crystal a weapon would be very brittle, because the thing about crystalline structures is that they are very hard. And the thing about steel, like this sword here, is though it has hardness, it also is flexible. Which means when you hit something with it, the flexibility will allow the shockwave to kind of like waver through the metal. And it's the same thing with armor as well. But if you take something that's just hard, that has no flexibility, like, God, what? Cast iron, for example. This is kind of a common misconception about metal, is that, and this happens a lot in a lot of fiction, is there's this idea of like, oh, they're going to pour the sword into this mold of sword. Like a sword mold. Like a carved out mold for the metal to pour into to make a sword. But that's not how making a fucking sword works. And, you know, like, the Game of Thrones show, for example, as much credit as I give it for being fairly realistic, does that too. And it bothers the ever-loving shit out of me, because that's not how making a sword works. This NPC is kind of mysterious. Like, he really is. I really don't know what to tell you about this guy. He's just some crystalled out guy. And his equipment must be pretty heavy because he's got the slow roll equipped. And I'm just going to footsie him to death, essentially. Because he can't stop me. I win. I win by default. The best win. He drops absolutely nothing, too. So, I mean, it's like, what's the fight even for? Now, let's see here. What was I saying? So, I mean, cast iron. Yes, cast iron is very hard and stiff. But because it is stiff, it also becomes very brittle. And this is a mistake that even fucking Dark Souls makes. There's a description, I want to say, on Gundir's Halberd. Oh, by the way, I'm equipping that ring for reasons I'll get into in a second. It's a ring of sacrifice. In case you forgotten what these do, if you die, it just breaks you and you don't lose your souls. Okay. But yeah, there's a description on, like, Gundir's Halberd or something like that in Dark Souls 3 where it's like, this cast iron halberd. Oh, get over here, you fucker. Oh, no, you don't. No. Yes! I need that stuff. And that one soul. Oh, boy. That's going to get me a whole level at the end. And it's like, no. Cast iron is extremely fucking brittle because it has no flexibility. Oh dear, what a very clever message. So now it's time to fight Seath the Scaleless. Hi Seath, I'm a dragon just like you. Will you be my dragon dad? I see. I see. So I can't reach him, yeah? And he's just going to keep doing this over and over again. I've got this. Oh, and he takes no damage from my stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah. There's a shot from the trailer. Oh, dear. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say right now, that's an unwinnable fight. And I fucking hate that! Oh, it's so dumb! Oh, hey, I'm still in human mode, too. How about that? And I despise that so much. I think I've always hated supposed to lose fights. Because it's like, man, fuck that. Fuck giving me a problem where there is no solution. I think that's bullshit. But also, like, this late in the game? Everyone knows that if you're going to do a supposed to lose fight, like, you're supposed to do that shit early on so the player doesn't feel like they got fucking cheated out of some bullshit. And that's why I despise this one particular fucking thing about this game. Oh, yeah, okay. Because it's like, man, come on with that. That's garbage and you know it. If there's any game that should not have a supposed to lose fight, especially... Oh, I already did that. Especially in the fucking late game... Hang on, I might have enough. So I don't need this. I don't get any items out of this thing, so I'm just going to use it. I don't care. I've already read the description. That'll get me almost there, right? Maybe. Close. Okay, that'll push me. Alright, now let's see here. Let's go ahead and bump up that. What do I want to bump up? I need to start working on my dexterity, actually. Because I am going to have to rely on physical weapons here soon, so, you know. Let's see here. There's a guard sleeping up, sleeping up against this wall. Should seem familiar because it's a snake man from Sen's fortress, so it kind of implies that this Duke guy, this Seath fellow, employed these dudes. But before I move on, God, what was I saying? So about like, but yes, a crystal structure, yes, would be very brittle and therefore would break much more easily when you try to strike things with it, because the structure is so solid and hard, it would not. It would not have any kind of flexibility that would allow the structure to waver, or the shock would not waver through it like it would with metal, which is much more flexible if smelted right, obviously. So that is a really interesting, realistic aspect about Dark Souls 1, is that crystal weapons are total garbage because they'll break. They're going to break. It's going to happen. Wow, okay. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Oh, goodness. So yeah, there's just 3 of those crystal hollow guys in here with you for like no reason. And so it is at this point, though, you're probably going to notice that there's a little bit of a running theme here, you know. I mean, there was that crystal golem, there are these crystal-fied hollows, there was some crystallized NPC, I'm getting crystal weapons, and didn't I get a crystal shield or something? Crystal knight shield? Yeah, here we go. And it's just the knight shield, except it's crystal. That's literally it. That's literally it. The main difference is if I hit somebody with it, it'll do more damage, but I can't repair it. And also, you'll notice that the durability shoots down from 200 to 20. So, I mean, it makes shit real fucking brittle, real fucking quick. But the stability stat of the shield goes way up, which means stuff would deflect off of it, like, real easy. Oh, you know what? I can use the Balder shield. I had no idea. Yeah, I totally forgot. It has a 12 strength requirement, which I have now for some reason. But I'm not going to worry about that. This shield is going to be better off for me. Well, let me see here. What's the magic resistance on that? Oh, yeah, I'm going to need this shield. There's a lot of magic going on in this level, which means I'm going to probably take off my Crown of Dusk. So, thing. And just like that, folks, the enemy dies in one hit. The Archive Tower cell key. Ooh, dear. Here we go. Did I already read this? Yeah, I already read that. So let's hear. Archive Tower cell key. The Archive Tower, once a trove of precious tomes and letters, became a prison after the onset of Seath's madness. The serpent men who guard the prison know not the value of what they hide. In the basement of the tower are the writhing mistakes of the terrifying experiments which were conducted there. Oh boy. This is about to be real fun. This is about to be real fun real quick. Are you ready? Hey, does anyone remember Tower of Latria from Demon Souls? Get back here, you fuck! Oh no, you don't. You're not getting away that easily. I'm just gonna blast these guys, because they're gonna run past me because they're trying not to fight me, but they're trying to get away. But this is kind of a unique thing. It's not very often that you get introduced to enemies in this manner. And here comes one all on her own. Here she comes. Oh, she's trying to wiggle her serpentile body at me. But I will not be so easily seduced. Okay, so it's going to take 2 soul arrows regardless, so I may as well use up my low soul arrows. So, what are these things called? These weird Cthulhuoid monstrosities. The closest equivalent that I know of, off the top of my head, is that in Dungeons & Dragons there's a monster called a Grick. And Gricks look an awful lot like this. Also, have you noticed how fucking big this place is? Because it's big. There's all these fucking books. The Duke's Archives is very set in its theme. And it does get a little bit over the top, if I'm being honest. So these things have a grab attack. They really like that grab attack. You can kind of see that sharp maw in there. Oh, they have a lunging attack. There's that. Oh, they drop humanity. I wonder what that could possibly signify. Now, before I go further in, I need to deal with some trouble up top. Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit on the difficult side, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh man. Oh dear. Excuse me, friend. Got her. Okay. Alright, there we go. That all worked out now, didn't it? For me. Oh, he blocked it. Okay, okay. Come on. Come on now. Now, those snake ladies do drop their sword, and it's called... Oh, wow, that... okay. Well, that shouldn't have worked out, but somehow that worked out. So I did all that so I could get the fuck rid of this goddamn noise. Oh, fucking finally. It should be noted, something that's really weird, too, is that this is covered in some of their extra, like, scales. Like, they shed themselves, and they just threw the extra skin over top of it. So, I mean, was this thing making noise because of the scraping gears against the scales? Was that what was making the noise? I don't know. It's a little unclear. The snake ladies do drop their swords. That's a very interesting pose. And they're called flambergés. Hey, check it out. Another type of sword that actually existed in, like, the real world at some point. The Archive Tower Giant Door Key. I had to come up here to get that. So these are starting to just roll... The names of these fucking keys are just starting to roll right off the goddamn tongue now, aren't they? Key to the giant door leading out from the uppermost floor of the Archive Tower, which now serves as a prison. The key's design resembles not the key of a prison. Indeed, the tower was once no prison at all, but a trove of precious tomes, of which we are, need I remind you, fucking surrounded by. This is like an incomprehensible amount of knowledge is in this tower. Like, that up there, that was that ladder that those snakes were trying to climb to get away from me, and I didn't let them. Like, just think about how huge this fucking place is. Also, another thing that this tower has, very peculiarly, is all of this. Fucking gears and clockwork mechanisms and shit. This is to become a little bit of a mainstay for the Duke's archives, and it's kind of interesting because you don't really see a lot of this in Dark Souls 1. You don't really see a lot of it in any of the other Dark Souls games, in fact, except for Bloodborne. But I mean, that only counts on a technicality. But it's so bizarre. Obviously, most of this is broken. It's kind of hard to tell what the fuck this was supposed to be. I don't know. I can't even think to make a guess. This looks like steampunk bullshit to me. As in, like, the gears are just here because they look cool. Because they probably don't actually do anything. Yeah, I mean, I know people give Dark Souls 1 a lot of credit, but this, to me, looks like it's not actually any kind of mechanism that was thought of in terms of, like, what does this mechanism do? This looks to me like we gotta make it look like there was some kind of mechanism here. So let's just slap some fucking gears on it and shit. Alright. It's time for another unique Dark Souls 1 experience. These ones, although I can target them like the other ones, like they are any other kind of enemy, they are not hostile to me. In fact, they don't even look at me. They're lost in their own little worlds. And that noise, yes, it is coming from them. They sound like crying ladies. And it is one of the most bizarre things in all of Dark Souls 1. Oh, that's weird. Hang on. Now, unfortunately, like with certain other things in the game, this is where the roleplay part of me would be like, well, obviously, since they're not aggressing me, I'm not going to attack them. But they have items that I can't get otherwise. So I'm going, and it's kind of annoying. Like, I wish there was a way to roleplay through this, but they didn't think about that. So the only way to get the items, to show the content, is to brutally murder these seemingly innocent monsters that otherwise weren't doing anything to me. Okay, so let's see here. Bountiful sunlight. Okay. I guess I could, twist this in such a way where it's like I'm putting them out of their misery because they clearly don't like being what they are, which I'll get to in a minute. No, sweetheart, get over here. Soothing sunlight. And of course, here's a familiar face over here, sort of. But, first. Alright, let's see here. Let's see here. Bountiful sunlight and soothing sunlight. Two very unique miracles. Bountiful sunlight. Special miracle granted to the maidens of Guinevere, Princess of Sun. Gradual HP restoration for self and vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, grant their blessings to a great many warriors. Okay. Soothing sunlight. Restores 8. Okay, so gradual HP restoration for self and vicinity versus restores high HP for self and vicinity. Same description. Miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, grant blessings to many warriors. So, there's a couple of implications here. Well, mainly there's one implication here. So it says specifically that these are miracles granted to maidens. Well, those didn't look like a couple of maidens that I just put out of the misery of, so to speak. Isn't that interesting? This door is locked, so I will get to that later. But for now...
Hello again. What a chance meeting this is. Alas, I'm imprisoned once again. I don't suppose you could stage me a getaway. The archives. Such a storehouse of knowledge, so close but just out of reach. The thought offends me so, I could simply die. As a student of the arts, you understand me, yeah?
Okay. Anything else, bud?
Hello again. What a chance meeting this is. Alas, I'm imprisoned once the thought of as a student.
Okay, so he's got nothing else to say. So in case you don't remember him, this is Big Head Logan. And once again, he finds himself trapped on along the way to find whatever goal it is he's looking for. And he needs our help yet again. For now, I don't have the key. But it should be noted that this is... I mean, you've seen it. This is the big running gag with Big Hat Logan, is that, you know, for such a powerful sorcerer, he always ends up getting himself stuck in stupid situations like this. And it kind of puts a lot of his competency into question. And I don't know. It's kind of interesting in that regard. But I don't know what else to tell you. But that's really it. It's kind of more or less it. Like, I guess... If I had to guess, and I might just guess, I would say that the issue could very well be that he's just so stubbornly focused on his one goal that he forgets to properly take the fuck care of himself. Oh yeah, let's slip that health potion into my actual mouth and not onto my neck. Wait, what? Archive prison extra key. Oh, good. More key descriptions that I get to read. Dude, it has been so long since I've done this area. Let's see here. Extra key to a cell in the Duke's Archive Tower. Perhaps the Serpent Men were careless, for there are several keys scattered about which fit Archive Tower cells. Okay. Well, I never need to come in here again, so I can go ahead and close this. And I'll never have to worry about this particular hollow coming back and attacking me when I try to go through the area. It's weird. Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense how some of these landings have been converted into... what am I looking for? Like, isn't it odd? Is this the key I'm looking for? No, it's not. Okay. It has been a long time, so I may very well forget which key it is or where exactly it is, but I'll find it eventually. But as certain item descriptions have talked about, these cells have been locked. Some of these entire bookshelves have been converted into cells to keep things here to experiment on them. I don't know if there's anything in here that I need. Doesn't seem to be anything in here that I need. Just, huh. Okay, way to drop down there for some reason. I don't particularly need that now, do I? God, maybe I should have left that noise on, because it's fucking quiet in here. Oh boy, now I get to fill space and time with my voice and nothing else. Isn't that what you want? Oh dear. Oh, hello. The extra key. So that's what this is for. Imminent despair, huh? We'll just see about that. Oh, well, no, that's not very despairing now, is it? Maybe I'll leave this door open. There's nothing hostile in here. And that way I'll know that I've already been in here. How on earth do I get that thing over there? Hello, friend. Don't worry, you're free now, my brethren. Even though you do have that crystal disease. At least you are free to die. You're welcome. I did him a service. Okay, there's nothing else in here. Absolutely nothing in here. Well, wasn't that a grand waste of time? That's the other thing about the archives. Is that there's so much of that, where it's just like, wow, okay, I'm so glad I wasted my time on that. Oh, wait. No, I'm not. There are those 3 hollows there. Okay. Now. Hope you don't have vertigo. Hope you like... Huh, that's... Shadow of my character and no shadow on the ladder. Alright. Before I go to doing more of this... Well, this is part of the reason why I decided to do a magic build. Uh-oh. God damn it. Well, so much for fall control, eh? Didn't control that fall very well, now did it? Oh, goodness. Now, let's see. Are you going to run by... Oh, I guess I can just leave them alone for now. Okay. Alright, then. Yeah, because the noise isn't activated, so they're just kind of on their toes, unless I get in their aggro range. I guess that's how that works. Oh! Hold on. If I can just get a little... I saw it for a second. There's an item in that cage there, and that's what I'm trying to get. Fall control. Okay, let's try this again. No damage. Okay, so I did all that to do this. This is the maiden set, and you also get the white seance ring. Let's see here. The white seance ring grants additional attunement slots. Let's see here. Is there a... Yep, I will get 1 more attunement slot if I do that. Hello? Okay. So now it's time to start piecing some things together. Okay? Those 2 gricks down there, they sounded like crying ladies, didn't they? And they gave me miracles that were given to maidens. And now I have been given the maiden set. Let's see here. White robe, worn by traveling maidens. It is a part of their formal attire, regardless of rank. It is soft and well made, but does not offer much in the way of defense, and makes it ill-suited for battle. Okay. Anything different here? Not really. But I will go ahead and tell you that it's time to beef up a little bit. Time to get some armor on. Because I'm about to head into the muck. Oh, you know what? You know what? Let's get fancy. Let's get real fancy. What do you say we get fancy? I think it's time to get fancy. Where the heck? Gosh darn it. Where is it? What? Huh? What? Am I blind? Okay, there we go. That's what I want. Is that good? Yep, that's still good. So we can go a little bit more. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We've got plenty of wiggle room, even on top of this. Oh yeah, let's be fancy. I like it. Alright. So now that I look really cool. My white and gold. Like I said, it's time to put some things together. So those ladies, those gricks down there, sounded like crying ladies. And it was talked about like some kind of horrible experiments. And they gave me miracles, which that the item descriptions upon them said, these are intended and given to maidens who serve the goddess Guinevere. And now I have found this attire, which is described quite literally as being a maiden set. A maiden's outfit. Okay. And now, remember... Oh, good old fall control. Let's see here. I'm actually going to go ahead and... You know what? I should upgrade Ricard's Rapier at some point and use that. You know what? I never even showed off what Ricard's Rapier is good for. I mean, first of all, it's a rapier, so I mean, you have your standard thrust stuff. Thrusting weapon stuff, I mean. But the R2 is a bit special in that it's phenomenal if you want to do a DPS monster build. When you press R2, the character goes like this. stabs twice. But if you press R2 in the follow-up, you stab like 4 times. So you can do like 6 attacks very quickly. So something you could do is like you could buff your weapon with like a spell, kind of like Great Magic Weapon or something like that. I'm sure there's a way to get that other item down there, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I'll probably get it off screen and tell you what it is later. So the reason I have changed out from Dusk's Crown, though, is because and you know what? I'm going to put on the Spellstone Plate Ring, because I'm about to run into a lot of magic stuff. And it's going to be a big problem. Hi, friend. I just thought of something. How am I on Titanite? Okay, I have no Titanite chunks. Good to know. Okay. Oof. Oof. It's a bit odd how much faster my projectiles move versus their projectiles. Like, twice as fast, pretty much. But I guess that's in the interest of, like, allowing you to play in such a way that NPCs can't. But yes, so there's all this stuff about maidens. And, okay, now I want to refer back to you. Okay, yep. Remember the golden crystal golem? And how it had, Dusk of Ulasil, speaking of Dusk, because I took her crown off, because I'm not wearing it right now, because I'm about to run into spell stuff, and it does make you weaker to spell damage. This is quite the view. That's on Orlando down there. So, remember the... Excuse me? Fucking excuse me, bitch? So yes, the Golden Crystal Golem kidnapped Dusk of Ulasil. Right in the head. And now I'm being told about all these experiments, and you know, I'm seeing, I'm finding things left behind by ladies. And now it's starting to all come together, I imagine, yes? Seath the Scaleless, the dragon, kidnaps maidens, and presumably does horrible, terrible, fucking lock on. Does horrible, terrible experiments on them, like with those Gricks. Okay, you know what? Fucking really, you son of a bitch. Teleported away from me like an asshole. Alright, that's fine. Alright. Okay, there we go. I've taken care of that. Let's see, before I do anything else, I'm going to hit this here bonfire. Oh, what do you got for me? Another crystal sword. Okay. I can just feed those to Framp for souls later. Let's see here. Is that the way I want to go? Yep, okay, that's the way I want to go. Hello, friend. Hello there. Oh! Wow. Alright, then. Huh. Boom. There we go. If a sniper ever shot at me, I would just get up close to him, because I know he's not specialized in close combat. Oh, how unfortunate. How very unfortunate for you. Don't worry. I'll make sure your grave is shat on. Just as you were in life, you fool. There's that fucker right there. Like, man. Cripes. Fuck that archer that you can't reach. That's some nonsense, man. Alright, here we go. Ouch. Man. This is quite the pain in the neck. Alright, let me see here. Oh, hey. There's a person there. Now I'm going to activate this fire, but not sit at it, because I don't want to reset the enemies just yet. Okay. Man, fuck that archer, though. Fuck him. Fuck this archer. Ha! Oh, shit. Okay, come here. Come here, fucko. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you good. Ha! That's what you get. You can just hide up there all day? You think I won't be petty enough to seriously sit here and waste a bunch of time killing you? You thought wrong. Alright, let's see here. No, not that way. The archives are admittedly a little bit confusing in terms of what you do. Alright, let's see. Okay, nothing there. Is there a chest on the other side? I don't think there is. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, alright. Man, I forget how quiet the archives are. Because it is really quiet in here. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. What's everything upgraded to? 13, 13, alright. Okay, nothing there. Alright, let's try over here first. Is this the first room? Okay, yeah, this is the first room. Okay, this is not where I want to be. But, as you can see, these passages here were not open before, and now they are. You know, so that way you can't just fucking book it through the area that you're not supposed to be able to access just yet. I don't really know why it triggers that. Like, I guess Seath just kind of assumes, like, well, that takes care of that. So now I can just open this back up so that my guys can get through as they need to. Okay, there we go. Excellent longbow stance. Too bad I was a little bit too close for you to properly use it. Absolute fuckery. There's an archer on the other side of the fucking staircase. Oh, you're still alive. Okay. Ow! Oh! Ooh, ow. That hurt. That hurt a lot. Okay, let's see here. Illusionary wall ahead. Man, aren't you full of shit? I know you're full of shit. What are you talking about, illusionary fucking walls? What kind of fool do you take me for? Let's see here. I don't think there's a chest over there, but I'm going to check real quick anyways. Because I don't quite remember where every little thing is. Now, obviously, there is one other thing. Somewhere. Can't remember which one it is. It might be in the other room. Because there's this big room, and there's the other big room that I just came out of. Okay. So, I mean, overall, this area is not really that tough. You just have to be patient with it. And I'll go ahead and say it. I got really lucky with how the actual six-eyed sorcerer guys were treating me. Oh, dear. Hello. These guys being the main threats, I mean, like, they're not really that tough. Like, honestly, I wish they had come up with some other, like, different enemy to throw in here. Okay, let's see here. Yep, nothing there. Oh. Come on now, let's stop wasting my time. It's like... I mean, I basically just said it. Like, these guys are just wasting my time at this point. Sniper spot. Just try projectile. Buddy, what are you talking about? Like, shooting the sorcerer? The six-eyed channeler? I have no idea. Okay, so let's see here. I did all that. Data come over here. This connects to right here now. Oh, yeah, okay. So I see what happened. So the thing is, both of these turning staircases affect the other one. So if I go into that room now, this one will also be turning around. And this is how it was set up before, like this. And obviously that didn't really help me a whole lot, because that didn't get me over there. Because I couldn't access it. So let me see here. Okay, yeah. Okay, no. That's where that other channeler was, across from me. Is there... Wait, no, hang on. Man, I'm getting really flipped and turned around. Hang on. Hang on a second. Is that where it was? So I thought I had checked over there for items. I don't remember seeing... I must not have. Because otherwise I would have found this, yeah? That's not a mimic. Oh, strong magic shield. I'm gonna need that later. Okay. I may have missed out on it, yeah. That's entirely possible. Okay, yeah, that's probably... No, wait, it was sideways, wasn't it? When I came in. Probably. I think that's how it's supposed to go. God, ugh. I'm not fully here right now. Just ignore everything I'm saying. Okay, so you do that, come over here. Oh, wait, here's where the channeler was. Wait, what? Wait. What? And how is he sniping me from over there? Oh, yeah, it must have been sideways. It must have been. Let's see, I don't think there's anything on this side. No? Okay. Alright, let me just double check over here real quick before moving on. Pretty sure there's not anything over here. Oh, that must be where the sniper spot I was talking about. Hey, check it out. Here's another really fucking annoying archer enemy, which I will now ignore forever. Because it's not worth the time. Okay, so now I did all that to do all this. And I now have access to this area next to the bonfire, and that's what I need. Okay, I'm just going to equip my other sword real quick just to get more damage. Still got my good roll, okay. Alright, let's see here. In this room over here. There's this. Blue Titanite chunk. Okay. So Blue Titanite is specifically for higher tier magical weapons. If you use Ricket to make magic weapons, which I have thus far not done. Hey, it's the six-eyed channeler stuff. Okay. Now I have to try and remember where the hell that is on the list. Here we go. Robe of the Channelers. Robe of the Channelers. Sorcerers that serve Seath the Scaleless. Even after the onset of Seath's madness, the Snatchers, as they were often called, ventured to far lands to find suitable human specimens, the heaviest protective gear for sorcerers, and imbued with magic. Oh dear, it is quite heavy now, isn't it? I look rather silly wearing it. We'll go ahead and, one thing I will note, though, is, and I meant to do this sooner. So look at the... get some better lighting somewhere where it's not so blinding to look at, and there's also not an archer shooting at me. So one thing I will note is that this design, just the raw design of how it looks should look familiar. Like the fringed cloak, the hood, the cloak over the shoulders, the way the bodice looks, and all that. Okay, it should look familiar. Because it's basically the same thing. It is basically the same thing. It's a very similar model. The model is obviously a little bit different, but it is intentionally supposed to be very similar. Although this one seems to be better in pretty much every way. But this is the aesthetic we're going for right now. Oh well. So that does imply that Anastasia, whom I have saved for no real good reason. Is this a... No, okay. Crystal Ember. Okay, another Ember. That's important. How... Let's hear. Wait a minute. That's a Mimic. This one, not a Mimic. Archive, Tower, Giant Cell Key. Okay, couple things to do. Crystal Ember. Ember for Blacksmith Weapon Ascension. Ember required for Weapon Ascension. Crystal Ember created by Seath the Scaleless. Handled by only the Giant God's Blacksmith. The Giant God's Blacksmith. Now, does that mean the Giant Blacksmith who serves the gods? Obviously talking about Orlando. The guy in Orlando. The big giant guy that with a tiny hammer. Or is there, like, some kind of giant god that I don't know about, and that giant specifically served him at some point? I don't know. Probably the former. The latter is a fun idea, though. Crystal weapons are powerful but brittle and cannot be repaired once broken. So what you can do with this is you can take this, and you can upgrade weapons to be crystal weapons. So this is the kind of thing, if you really want to just get some raw damage output, and just burn through resources, just by farming soul to continuously burn through those resources, then what you can do is you can use this Ember, give it to the Giant Blacksmith in Orlando, and just take any kind of weapon that you can buy that fits your build, and then just give it to him. And just do that over and over again, and upgrade, and just have a whole bunch of crystal weapons. But okay, let's hear it. Archive Tower Giant Door Key. Opens giant door in Archive Tower Prison. Okay, key to the giant door leading out from the uppermost floor of Archive Tower, which now serves as a prison. The key's design resembles not the key of a prison. Indeed, the tower was once no prison at all, but a trove of precious tomes. Oh yes, very precious indeed. And I know you're a Mimic. Stop fucking lying to me. How dare you? How dare you? Who do you think I am? You think you're so fucking good, do you? How dare you? Huh, huh. There we go. Okay, and this one drops. Ha! I got the symbol of avarice. Huh, isn't that nice? And an enchanted falchion. Now, there's two different kinds of magic weapon ascension. Okay, I went the wrong way with that. Where is it? No, wait. Hang on. Wait, darn it. That's right. It's above. Curved swords are above thrusting swords. So enchanted falchion. So what the enchanted version does is that it kind of cools it on what the int scaling you get out of the weapon, but it allows the weapon to do more physical damage. Magic enchanted weapons, if I were to break this down into a magic weapon, get more int scaling, but do more magic damage. Kind of like my rapier here. It does way more magic damage than it does physical damage, but the scaling on int is a lot better. It's a very similar vein. So now that I have this completely different key, it's time to backtrack. Oh yes, it's time to backtrack. Okay, well, looks like I can't go that way. But that's okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother with that. Where the fuck are they? Here we go. Yep, the last bonfire rested at, which should be down this way. Just like I thought. Okay, I'm gonna put that Crown of Dusk back on real quick just to get my spell power. I have the power! Did I read the White Seance Ring? I did not read the White Seance Ring, did I? The divine ring entrusted to the head bishop of the Way of White and Apostle Allfather Lloyd, uncle to Lord Gwyn. Uncle to Lord Gwyn? He was supposed to be the first of the gods. How did he have a fucking uncle? Oh, God, I don't know. This is one of those things. The lore of Dark Souls sometimes kind of contradicts itself and is also a little bit confusing. The head of the Bishop of the Way of White is the guardian of law and caste, and one of the great royals of Thorland. Thorland, in case it doesn't sound familiar, is the place where Rhea of I should not have sat down. Is the place where Rhea of Thurland and Petrus of Thurland came from, and so too did all their stupid little buddies come from there as well. Ow, I should not have done that. Maybe I should just let them try to escape. I think they're like stuck trying to do the same thing. No, they are not. Well, luckily that killed him. Maybe this will kill you. Oh, I was really hoping it would just clip through the fucking environment and die instantly. Hey, the Man-Serpent Greatsword. Did I ever talk about that? I don't think I ever got the chance to. No, wait, I did get that. And then thus I did talk about it, probably. Oh, well. Alright, let's get my spell power. I can probably switch back to my, finger quotes, canonical set. Or I can be cool. I could also be really cool looking. Where the fuck is the black iron? I always lose track of it. If they actually set up stuff so that it was fucking in order of like, yep, okay, I'm still good. If they actually set shit up in order of like the tier of armor, then I wouldn't get fucking confused so easily. But they don't. They don't do that. They set it up in all this really confusing order, and it's I hate it. That is one thing that the Dark Souls games have gotten right since then, is having a grid where the items are all together and you can just scroll past entire rows of armor at a time. That was a good fucking addition. So anyways, I had to come all the way over here. No, not for fun, because it's sure as shit not gonna be fun. Come all the way over here just to finally get, what's his fuck? Big Hat Logan out of his stupid cell. Come on, Logan. God, if only Logan had some kind of ranged attacks that he could slip through the bars of the cell and hit these things with in like a, Oh, you know what? I should have let that happen. Maybe I'll just pull one and let them do their array of attacks. Because I barely showed these things off. So there's that one where they start retaining water and they get really self-conscious about their weight, so they become anemic. Oh god, that was terrible. I can't believe, A, that I even made that joke, and B, that it all rolled off my tongue so quick. I'm both ashamed and very proud at the same time. But yeah, there's one attack where they blow it up and just spit water at you. So let's see here. They have also got, yep, there's the bloat and spit. Some people are into that, you know. This is a very basic swipe with their tentacles. Very basic. Sad. Come on. These things are very pathetic, really. Especially when they're on their own. The entire point of, the entire reason they set them up is with like this big scary reveal is because they're all supposed to come up the staircase at you at once. You know what? I've got full health. Let's let that grab attack happen, shall we? Yep, there it is. So they grab you, and they just jab you with their needle mouth real fucking good. And then they apparently feel really bad about it. Yeah, that's all their attacks. Yep, you're very scary. God, I can't believe I made that joke. Okay. So we use that to open this. Not a particularly giant fucking door, is it? Not like the key description would suggest, but there's a Firekeeper soul, and that's useful. Alright, Logan.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm saved. That makes twice. I must be sure to repay you. I will visit the archives. If I discover any new spells, I shall share them with you. Prepare to be impressed by the onward march of sorcery.
Now, one thing I kind of want to ask is, how is it the onward march of sorcery if you're just reading shit out of the book so you can tell me? Doesn't that mean it's stuff that has already been invented and has been lost?
Hello. Don't mind me. Go on ahead. I'll head out soon. I wish to lay down my plans before I visit the archives.
Yeah, you're gonna sit down and plan how you're gonna get there, huh?
Hello.
Okay. So one thing I just thought about, and I haven't really done this, is, time to give him a little... Okay, there we go. I did that so I could show off the items that he's currently using. So he has a leather shield, and one thing you'll note is that he has a unique catalyst. And you can get his catalyst, and it is, for the late game, the best catalyst in the game. As you can see, this is the normal catalyst that you start with, and his is better because it's gnarly and funny looking, which means it's got to be better, right? Really, it has a similar base magic damage, but better scaling than the starting catalyst. Also, he's got gray hair. He's an old fart. What can I say? See if I can get a good look at it. Get a good look on in there. Get a good look on in there. And see if I can get a good look at that face. Well, it's not gonna be a good look at that face because it's blurring up. Yeah. Well, he's an old man and he's got a bad looking chin. Hello, Casper Ghosts 150. Nice of you to join us. This might not be terribly entertaining to watch. I'm doing like a solid like sit down and talk about lore and shit let's play of this game. I mean, I try to talk about lore. I try to. And like characterization and stuff. I'm not an expert or anything. I'm just moderately educated on it. On the matter. Look at this poor motherfucker. He's never getting out of here. I'm inclined to agree that this is probably one of the best RPGs ever. It's definitely my favorite RPG ever. Of course, saying it's the best one, like, you know. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree with that. Oops, wrong door. Let's see here. How do you even get there? Let's see here. I mean, so there's that sticking out, I guess. So where do I drop off to even get that? Like, you know what? I'll probably look that up later. The short of it right now is that I don't care, and I'm trying to just move on with my life. That's okay, Casper. We don't have to fight over lore. Alright, let's see here. Can I... Oh, of course not. Oh, good. Good. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to have to walk back to that other bonfire. That's totally what I wanted. Thanks, Dark Souls. Yeah, so that bonfire is separated from the others, so you can't just warp out of this tower. You have to physically move your ass. Which is a bunch of nonsense, if you ask me. You know, I was so focused on fighting this one to my right that... Get out of here. That I forgot to take in the scenery here. Let's see here. So, there's like a proper tower here. And there's gigantic crystals coming up out of the fucking forest over there. And as you can see, that's where that other bonfire is, and down below is somewhere that maybe we'll get to in a short moment. How dare you? Well, that didn't work out now, did it? Well, this is going swimmingly. Should have just done that sooner. Should have just done that sooner. Alright, come here, you fuck. Yeah, no, Dark Souls 1, like, graphically speaking, holds up shockingly well. I'm not even going to fight you on that. I agree. Now, let's see here. I am actually going to say nuts to actually trying to fight these channeler fuckers. And let's see. Uh-oh, this might be too far. God damn it. Well, that didn't work. Now did it. Thanks, Dark Souls. Thanks for not just letting me fucking move on with my life. Oh, gosh. What? Man, I don't know. Like, I'd say Dark Souls 1 has aged surprisingly well for a game that came out in 2011. It sure as shit aged way fucking better than the original version of Skyrim. That's for goddamn sure. No, I'll fight anybody that says otherwise. And of course, I mean unmodified original Skyrim. You know what? I'm not even going to bother using my Great Soul Arrows on you. Okay, so that didn't work out. Maybe I can just jimmy on past him and hit the staircase. Yep, I can just jimmy on past him and hit the staircase. As long as I get to the bonfire. Oh, he's buffed, this guy. This is fine. This is fine. This is all going according to plan. Don't worry. This is all totally fine. Oh, God. Oh. 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 There we go. Oh. This is fine. Don't worry. Who else? No? See? Look how fine this is. It's all going perfectly according to plan. As always. Come here, you. How dare you? How dare you hyper armor through my attack, you fuck. Get danced on. Let's see here. It's going to be a real fun part. Let me just get right on over here where hopefully the channelers cannot see me. Yep, here we go. There we go. I don't know. I do have mixed feelings about Dark Souls 2. Hang on. And saying Dark Souls 2 is the worst Dark Souls. Oops, there's an arrow there. Kind of a subjective thing to say. Like, I don't disagree, but it's like, because, I mean, I could disagree. But at the same time, I don't agree, if that makes any sense. Okay, now I just gotta do it here. There's actually a person here. Imagine it. A person. Still playing after all this time. Now, I can go ahead and make this first attempt without going human. Because I haven't used any of my Estus. Because I'm just good at this game. Let's see. Has he moved on yet? No? Wait, yes. Okay. He's already in here. Awesome. Excellent. Good.
Hello there. I was expecting you. This place is truly magnificent. More than expected even. As promised, I shall share the new sorceries with you. And the secret of Sith's immortality.
Alright, let's see what he's got. Let's see here. Da-da-da. So let's see. Oh, homing crystal soulmaster. I can actually use that now. And I can use crystal magic weapon as well. Let's see. Alright, let's see here. I'll probably worry about grinding for the stuff to get all this later off screen. Let's just see what he has to say.
Ah, the secret of Seath's immortality. If you have fought him and were imprisoned, you must know that Seath is a true undead, different from ourselves. His wounds close promptly, and no mortal blow affects him, granting true insulation from death. His wounds close promptly, and no mortal blow affects him, granting true insulation from death. It is an effect of the primordial crystal, a sacred treasure pillaged by Seath when he turned upon the ancient dragons. So only by destroying the primordial crystal can you so much as scratch his hide. And it so happens the primordial crystal is in the inner garden of these very archives, the Crystal Forest.
Okay, so a couple things to unpack there. First, I've got to make the joke. We even got this crystal, which makes us double immortal for some reason. We don't even need it. Don't even need it. Oh god, I love that video. But yeah, so I'll admit I kind of missed the whole thing about Logan just straight up telling you, oh, by the way, he's got a crystal that makes him immortal. Which, I mean, like, what? Like, what is up with this weird crystal thing that makes the dragons double immortal? Why did that exist? And it existed when they were dragons because it's, you know, heavily implied that he just, like, well, in his own words, he pillaged the crystal. Which means the dragons already had to have this crystal that was used for making dragons immortal. So it's like... It's like, so where's the truth, you know? The intro sequence talks about their stone scales making them immortal, and they had to get peeled off by Gwyn's creation of the lightning spear. But then, you know, we find out about this crystal that can make dragons immortal, and the whole reason Seath is not immortal is because he didn't have the stone scales. But now he has the crystal, so he is immortal. So it's like, was maybe, like, the crystal the reason they were immortal to begin with all along? I would say there's probably both. It's probably safe to say that there is both, because otherwise why would the whole Seath being scaleless thing be such a big deal?
The tomes stored in these archives are truly magnificent. A great pool of knowledge. The fruits of superior wisdom and an unquenchable desire for the truth. Some would say Seath had an unsound fixation. But his work is a beautiful, invaluable resource. All progress demands sacrifice, and I certainly bear no antipathy for that wonderful scaleless beast.
Yeah, but Seath got stuff accomplished, so it kind of justifies the means because for him, like, kidnapping all those girls and performing fucked up experiments on them against their will that made them miserable. Yeah, this is kind of where Big Hat as, like, a character falls apart for a lot of people, because it's a philosophy that I like to call doing the wrong things for the right reasons. And in his mind, anything that progresses knowledge is the right thing, is a right reason. So, again, in his own words, he's basically like, well, I mean, some sacrifices had to be made. And it's like, yeah, okay, tell that to all the ladies that are now horrible tentacle monsters and whatever else we don't know that he's been doing.
The tomes stored in these archives, a great pool of knowledge.
Okay.
All program.
Yep. So his dialogue's all done for now. Let's see here. Is there anything that he has that I really want? I mean, I don't need 2 copies of Magic Weapon and Magic Shield. Yeah, Crystal Soul Spear. I don't really need that. I'm probably never going to go above 40 int with this character. Could probably go ahead and grab Crystal Magic Weapon. Oh, shit, yeah. A copy of Soul Arrow. Just what I needed. No. I mean, technically speaking, I don't really need any of this, but...
Farewell.
Oh, hey, that weird mechanic just happened. So before I move on, am going to go ahead and level up once real quick so I don't lose these souls. Although I suppose I could go ahead and use some stuff. Be wary of prisoner, eh? Good to know. Well, I mean, I already know exactly what that's referring to. Okay. God, it feels like my level progression has been, like, really slow for some reason, and I don't know why. Probably because I'm not doing as much farming. Alright, let's see here. There it is. This room is probably one of the better model rooms in terms of, like, looking like a tossed library of knowledge. Probably. I would say so. And then, don't let the crystal hollow hit ya where the door should have split ya, right? Just for some reason, this one completely random-ass hollow just sitting under here. How dare you block me? Don't you know I'm supposed to be blocking you? Get over here. That's enough out of you. Is there even anything over here? Oh, I see. He's supposed to draw your attention to this right here. Prism stones. Oh, good. I'll never use these. I'll never, ever use them. Well, there's a reason that they give them to you there. Path marker. Drop and listen to check heights. Okay. Now, I am kind of hoping to go ahead and get this entire section of the game done with by the time I want to finish streaming. But at this rate, I don't know if that's going to happen. Actually, you know what? What am I doing? I already know. Yep, this one. Right over here. Whoop. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. 39. I hear a second one coming up too, don't I? Yeah, I do. Well, this has turned well out, hasn't it? Oh, well, more damage from a physical weapon. That's good to know. Again, not quite what I was trying to do, but that worked out. Wow, I should not be alive. There we go, yep. So it turns out these things that are probably created to be magical constructs have a little bit of magic resistance. Who would have guessed, yeah? Oh, how dare you jump away from me. I'm supposed to be jumping away from you. Ow. Well, alright then. There we go. Well, good thing I had a spare Estus flask sitting around. Alright, you. Come here. You're special, aren't you? Come here, you. So I'll admit, this is kind of like where the game... Well, hang on, you know what? Before I forget. You can see a person sitting inside that extra large honeycomb on his head. There she is. That's a good look. Oh! Hi there. If I can just... Wow, that was very weird. Oh dear. Alright, time to actually fight this thing now. How dare you? Oh, come on. Well, it's all coming at Millhouse, isn't it? There's a bit more physical resistance, I notice. Oh! Ugh! Whereas before I was doing 61 on a normal hit, this guy takes 55. Oh wow. It seems like piercing damage seems to do more to them though. And of course I know the video game calls it thrusting damage, but that's dumb and I'm not going to call it that. It's fucking piercing damage. They've always been piercing damage. in every RPG you can imagine since before Dark Souls got the bright idea to base the damage types of weapons around that. And it works better if you call it piercing damage anyway, because it works for thrusting attacks and when you're using a bow and arrow. Because when you're using a bow and arrow and the game's like, this is thrusting damage. Like, no, you don't thrust an arrow at somebody. It's not how that shit works. Excuse me. Also, that's an interesting idea. Maybe the crystal is not so much proper immortality, so much as... Because Big Hat Logan did describe, like, oh, his wounds heal right up and everything. Like, so does that mean, possibly, does that mean that maybe the primordial crystal is not so much a methodology of creating perfect immortality, so much as it is just a really, really strong healing item? So, like, anytime he gets an illness, bam, it heals. Anytime he gets any kind of cut, bam, it heals. Bruise, boom, it heals. Anytime his bones break, anytime his cells die from aging, it all just heals so fast. That's a really interesting idea, and I never really thought about it. Perhaps that is the case, even. Well, I'm obviously not going to be able to get through this entire zone with everything I've got to do. This episode has already run pretty long. But let's go ahead and meet this fellow here. It should look familiar, because they're dressed... Really? Another one? When did I even put a message up? I don't know. View my messages. I don't have any messages. When? What? Maybe it affects across different characters. That's bizarre. But yes, this person is dressed just like Siegmeyer of Katarina, only as we more or less surmised, these golden crystal golems probably only apprehend ladies.
It was you who rescued me. Why, thank you. I am Siegland of Katarina. I don't know how I ended up in that crystal. It wasn't terrible in there, but I could hardly move. I must think of some way to repay you.
Awesome. So, Siegland of Katarina. So, same armor as Siegmeyer. Has a similar name like Siegmeyer. I wonder if this character is somehow related to Siegmeyer. I wonder. Possibly, potentially, if I could just get on in there. Yep, there we go. I mean, it's not a terribly good look at her face, but whatever. I still really respect that Dark Souls has fucking solid head tracking like this. There are so many games that just they can't even do head tracking, or can't be bothered to do head tracking. And I really appreciate head tracking. It's a realistic thing. It makes it feel more realistic when characters talk to you, when their faces actually follow you around when you're talking to them.
Oh, have you seen my father? You wouldn't miss him. A suit of armor just like mine.
The answer is yes. So yes, I mean I already knew, but she is related to Siegmeyer of Katarina.
Thank goodness. I knew he was here somewhere. Well then, now I must find him. Thanks again, truly. Now if we'll just stay put and keep out of trouble.
So this is one of the less subtle things about Dark Souls 1. I mean, a great sword just like Siegmeyer uses, the same armor and the same buckler. Her name sounds extremely similar to him, it's just like, just in case it's not subtle enough that she just literally comes out and says, like, hey, have you seen my father? Like, no, she's dressed up exactly like him. Her name has to sound similar. It's just like, it's really hammering home this idea that she's his daughter, and it's not very subtle at all.
Thank goodness. I knew he was here. Well then, now I must find him. Thanks again, truly. Now if we'll just stay put and keep out of trouble.
Yeah, okay, that was the same line of dialogue. So, this episode has run long enough, so I will finish off this zone next time, as well as the boss, Sirius the Scaleless. If I'm not mistaken, I can just warp here, and if I can't just warp here, well, whatever, I'll worry about that later. During the interim, I will probably farm for stuff and souls to buy all those spells, because this is probably going to be the last opportunity that I get to buy all those spells. And being a spellcaster, I want those spells. Alright, but before I go, I will go ahead and head on over to the Firelink Shrine. You know, just for fun, facts and giggles. Hello, friend. Yeah, I went ahead and came back here because I know that she comes back here.
Oh, hello again. We're both managing quite well, aren't we? But I haven't found my father yet. Have you seen him?
Why, yes, I have. He went down below.
Really? Then I must be off. I'm sorry he's caused you trouble. He has a knack for that. If you just stay put.
Got anything else to say, Sieglin?
Really? Then I must be off. I'm sorry he's caused...
Okay, yeah, no. Same old thing. Let's see, I wonder, is Griggs still over here? No, Griggs is gone. No, wait. So he is. Okay. I might be able to buy some stuff from him as well. He might have another copy of Soul Spear, which I still can't even use yet. Alright, so I've got some things to do and take care of. But, yeah. It's kind of late in the game to be introducing new characters, and yet Dark Souls 1 has done it anyways. Here we are, we have Sieglin. And Sieglin, I'll admit, is kind of a weak character in so much that she exists to further the narrative surrounding Siegmeyer. She's kind of not really her own character. And, you know, that's kind of weak in its own right, but, well, I guess it gets the job done. But, yeah. So, this has run long enough. Maybe we will spend more time with Sieglin and or her father. My foot is jiggling there. That's bizarre. Okay, that's fine. But, for now, thank you for watching. Thank you, and good night. No pun intended.